All right, let's make sure you guys can hear me. Looks like you can. Let's make sure you guys can see everything. Looks like you should be able to. All right, checking up there. All right, so what are we working on here today? We're gonna do some, I don't know, maybe some lab build out for sure. Talk about the stuff coming up in our Discord and kind of the fun things we've got going. I've got more work stuff to do later, so I figured I'd hop on and do this now. For people that are not part of the Discord, you're always welcome to. But we've got events coming up. We've got the writers' room on Saturday. That's the bunch of people that are working on the lab guide for the Linux Systems Administration book. And then we have a normal meeting on Saturday, but this meeting is going to be it's going to be an operational meeting. So if some of you guys have never seen like a day in the life of operations or any of the operational type meetings that different companies have as a stand up, we're going to do that. And basically what it is, what happened the last 24 hours? What major incidents? Are there any problem tasks that need to be discussed? And you have like all the different operational teams on there. So we're going to start running our normal meeting like that so people can start to get into the cadence of looking at what's been going on in the system, looking at system usage reports, reporting up any changes that are occurring, before the end of the week, any considerations and things that people need to talk about. So I think that'll be valuable for people that have never sat through one of those. So we're going to do that. And then the Linux admin course, the Linux Systems Administration course, is going to restart on March 22nd. So for people that haven't been here for that, that's a course on being a systems administrator. It's more than just being in Linux and playing around with Linux. Excuse me. That's going to be a course on how Linux kind of interacts back with the company, the things that you're going to be called on to do as a Linux systems administrator. We have 45 people say they're coming now. We've had a lot of people in the class previously, so hopefully we get a lot more again. And it's a lot of work, right? It's 16 weeks. It's 6 to probably 8 hours a week. If I had to guess, on the light side, it's probably 6. Maybe on the high end, it might be around 10. But it's free. It's just a course that we run that shows you guys how to do this stuff. If you're like, well, what's the course about? Well, it's Linux, obviously. But if you want to see, let me see if I have it right here. I think I have a syllabus for it. Yeah, here's our syllabus. So it'll be updated in a book form, so it won't just be something that you've got to download. But this is kind of what the syllabus looks like if you guys have never seen, very similar to like a college syllabus. And then this is the sessions. These are the things that we had originally went over, right? So if you're like, what do I need to know? I do a lot of Linux. I play around with it a lot, but I've never gotten anybody to pay me for it. Well, this is what that's kind of about, right? Getting you guys in there, understanding some of the basics, and then starting to get into the systems. And every week has some focus around how that ties back into like the business. There's a discussion around, in the firewall chapter, like the manager comes to you and asks you to fix something, and you've got to go figure out what the ports are to be able to enable the ports. There's another one in there where they ask you to describe the difference between the firewalls that you work with and these other types of firewalls that exist, and you have to kind of compare and contrast some things. So the course is designed to get you guys thinking about being a professional in this space. Hey, Ops to Dev. It's going good. I've been working a lot. I actually have more work to do later tonight. I got to run a college class, and I've got to get back in and do some more work for our projects. And stuff just keeps moving. I'm a busy guy. Lots of stuff going on, but I try to, keep this stuff going so you guys always have something to work on. So, anyways, all the stuff in the Discord's always free, in case you guys didn't know. Johnny, we did the class last year, but it's starting again on March 22nd. So a couple weeks. One of the fun things about Discord is if you go in Discord on the mobile, it's in the top right. On your computer, it's on the top left. If you actually say you're interested, it'll let you know when we do the course. So when we kick it off. On top of that, I can show you guys this. I'm allowed to show you guys. I've been approved by the guys that are writing the book. This is what the book is going to look like. Hold on. LSC, I think. Hold on. I think it's called LSC. Where do they have it? Here it is. So I can link this. No, is this it? hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta turn this crap off. This is their repository. Let me see if I can find the actual book. Once they've got it done. Yeah. So here's the actual finished book, but it's not completely finished yet. I can link it to you guys. I want to say only the first 3 weeks are completely finished right now. But this is what it kind of looks like. It talks about the book. It tells you a little bit about the course and what's going on. These are directly taken from that syllabus that I put together. And then talks about how to complete the course, and you must attend the lectures, participate in group discussions, and complete provided labs. And then there's a big project, and people really, got into the projects. There was a lot of good stuff. There's a bunch of resources that are discussed here for how you do it, and then it jumps into a little bit about if you want to contribute to the book or if you want to be, you want to get your name in there. Hopefully they got people's names up. I know they were working on getting people's names in here. Let me see if they did that yet. But they show a little more about contributing to it, which I think is awesome. They're going to get their names on there eventually if they haven't yet. No, they haven't. They do one big poll. They review all the poll requests at the end of the week. So on every Saturday, they put that all together. Here's the resources. These are, they got all kinds of different resources out there for you guys to go look at and read. And then they get into a little bit about us. The ProLug group's been about 15 years. I've been doing Linux for about 22 years professionally. I've been teaching it at the college level for 16. A little bit about the course. And then they go into Unit 1. Now, the nice thing about these, this is the reason I was showing you this, is when you get down into here, they talk about the components. Hold on. And then I think it's right here on the worksheet. For every worksheet, they embedded the actual course when I recorded it for YouTube. So they have, when they're done, we'll have all 16 of them in here. So if you guys just want to go through it on your own, you could do it at your own pace. Hey, Campy, how's it going? If you guys wanted to, you could do it with us, though. Yeah, this is way better, guys. This right here, 100 times better than what I was doing, because we were building the course live when we did it last year. So what I was doing was I was just dropping everything down here in ProLug projects. And it was like, go grab out the pieces you need. So this is the course right here in our Discord, right? Well, I mean, that's fine. But one, a lot of people don't like Discord, right? I know a fair amount of people that don't like Discord, right? So you don't have to deal with the Discord part of it. You could literally just do that. Now, if you're doing the course with everybody, there is a component of discussion, and that is required in the Discord. And you might say, well, why, Scott, why do you force discussion, or why do you do it? Well, it's similar to like kind of the college theory, the same kind of thing as a college professor that I have to deal with, where it's kind of the theory of how people learn. And when you discuss things in an open forum, then different ideas come out. You see how different people tackle the same problem that you're trying to tackle. It's a lot like, I don't know, if you wrestle, you can't wrestle by yourself. I mean, you could do some movements and stuff, but you need to feel the weight of the other people. And it's similar to that in academia, where yeah, you could do some stuff on your own, but when you work with other people, you see different ways that people work through stuff. So yeah, ops to dev, yeah, more of like system design. Yeah, so guys, this is the free and open source. Oh, my boss is messaging me. Hold on a second. I'll let him know. Yeah, I'm still online. What's up? Hold on, boss is calling me or messaging me. Also, it says on our Discord that we have about 3,500. We're almost at 3,600 people in our Discord, so that's pretty cool. Not everybody's active, but I'd say we have a few hundred active, so it's kind of cool. HNLZ01. It's all right, hold on, guys. He's messaging me. I have to check something here. Anyway, so where was that? Yeah, you've got this. Oh, and then one other thing. I need to officially put this out. I haven't officially done this yet, but let's come here, and we're starting. So we're starting this course. It'll be from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. each of those days. Now it'll be in your time if you go look at it. But I have another course that we're putting together for the stage channel should be guest speakers, and it's going to be the um, so it's going to be the Linux or securing Linux, or let's say Linux security engineering course. This is going to start also, I think, on the 22nd, and I'm going to start it in that same place. Well, hold on, let me think how I want to do this. If I start in the same place, let's think. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it like a little bit later, like an hour later. And then I'm going to say weekly on Saturday, the start of the Linux security engineering course. There we go. Uh-oh. Guys, give me a second here real quick. I got to drop my stuff here. Give me 1 second. Give me this. And go on mute. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, you guys should be hearing me again. Let me go back to streaming here. Sorry about that, guys. I got kind of hung up with the boss there for a second, but I'm back. Let me get this stuff out of the way. I couldn't even see chat, so I miss if I missed chat for while I was talking to him in a little huddle session, I apologize. But here's where we're at. We are on. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Baba Opsidev. Yeah, Opsidev. We've grown a lot on the Discord side. There was kind of like a weird thing last April where one of my videos just went to like almost 200,000 views on YouTube. And it was funny because I was in Mexico when it was happening, so I couldn't even stream or do anything and like keep it going. But it kind of tapered off, but it's still going. So yeah, it was kind of took a little bit of time. Colchis, Hayes, how's it going, guys? Yeah, we're I was talking to you guys, and then the boss called, so I had to jump over to there and talk to him real quick. Can be, yeah. So here's all I have of the security course so far is this. Give me 1 second here. I need to find where I have it. Hold on, let me go grab my overview of the security course real quick. It's actually, you know what? I might have put it in. Let me go Linux LSC. Hold on, let me go to this LCS LAC. He's got the. Let me see if I can find where our GitHub is for this. No. Hold on. Yeah, there's all that stuff, but yeah. So here's the original GitHub, and then let me jump back up. Let me jump back up one, and then yeah, I can because I put it. So what happened was I put it in a we have like issues in here. I think it's called PSC. It's Prolog Security course. Yeah. So what had happened in here was they've linked me all of the issues, and then I had to put together like the book intro, and then yeah, here was the course objectives and the calendar and all that stuff, and then I think I had to put in. Maybe that wasn't it. Hold on. I thought I put it in as just a comment on here. So hold on, let me go find it real quick. Looks like he's added a bunch of stuff, but that's not. Where's my comment at? I thought I could see my comments down here. All right, screw it. I'll find it over here. Hold on. So, guys, I got asked if I could show like an overview for the Linux security course, and I know I have it, but I got to go find it real quick. Give me a second here. Yeah, here's the security course general, like the general idea for it right here. So, it'll be. Did I do 10? Yeah, it'll be 10 weeks. The first one is going to be build standards and compliance. So it's this idea that, this is going to be bright for a second, but you pull up a STIG viewer here, and then you go to whatever STIG you want, like a MariaDB, and this is actually going to be one that I'm going to have the guys do, and it's going to be like so you're going to go to one of these nodes, right? So SSH like hammer 1, and then you'll go into hammer 1, and you'll do a DNF install MariaDB, right? And that actually might fail because you need MariaDB server. So we'll say no, and MariaDB-server, I think is what it is actually. Yeah, so MariaDB server is the bigger one. That'll give us all the connectors and everything. So this will be like one of the first labs will be this. It'll be go get yourself a STIG viewer, go get yourself a MariaDB. You're going to make a checklist, and then you're going to go in here and you're going to harden MariaDB. There's 110 hardening steps. Now, some of you might go, Scott, this sounds like a lot. Security's something that people should really think of as, not necessarily the cool thing. It's the complex thing. It's a difficult thing. So real quick, I can make a checklist from this, right? Create a checklist from the Mark Stiggs. Here's my new checklist. And the very first thing I might do is it says MariaDB must limit the number of concurrent sessions to an organization, defined number per user for all accounts and or account types. So I might come in here, and now I've got MariaDB on there. So I should be able to say MySQL and connect to 127.0.0.1 as the root user. If I can't, maybe I got to go figure out what's going on. So it says can't connect to there. So ss-nt, whoops. And then, come on, grep-i for, you don't need the i3306, right? And it's not running. Systemctl status MariaDB, right? Okay, it's dead. Systemctl start MariaDB. So we're going to start the service. Going to make sure it's running. See it running. I see its port open. Now I see my connection to it happening correctly. 127. You should just be able to hit MySQL, and it'll connect to yourself if you only do that, right? So I'll show you guys a more fun. So these are all fine, but let me find one that's maybe a little more fun. So one is you maybe have to change the password. Okay, that's fine. You got to change the default password, guys. Some of these ones are kind of down. Let me see if I can find. I'll find a good one here, like because I've done this quite a lot. So like log, right? So let's just go find a log, and right here, I want to find one that has. Move the filter. Let's go. Let's look for audit. That takes us down to 52. All right. So this one says show global status like server audit. So I got to do something like this in here. Show. You don't have to do it in caps if you don't want. MariaDB is one of those weird well, MariaDB and MySQL in general, they'll show you commands in caps like this, but you don't have to write them in caps if you don't want, right? So we're just going to hit Control-C. And then we'll just right click and it'll say, okay, that's an empty set. So that's not there. So if you want to do this, you have to make sure that this is set a certain way. So you got to come and run through this and make sure that this is set the right way. But this isn't what I want to do. I want to set the, here, I got another one. Etsy. So here's all my Etsy ones here. So it says right here, server audit, match filters. Okay, so now to turn this on or to set this, I need to go set this line out here in Etsy my.cnf.d, right? And then under MariaDB, so vi my MariaDB server.cnf file, right? I would look for server, right? And under MariaDB, so down here, typically, this is any useful one. I would right click and I would drop that server logging audit on, right? Then for this part, if I want to verify that that worked, I've got to restart my MariaDB. It failed. Why did it fail? Maybe this line needs to go down here. Maybe there's something else wrong. Right? I may have to, I've actually done this before where I'll just put it up here under server. So maybe it'll go up here because they're telling you to put it down in here, just under any MariaDB section, but maybe it just needs to be in the generic server. So why is it failing? Hold on, I think I know why that's failing. So cd to var lib. See how there's a MySQL in here? Get rid of it. Because it's trying to reinitialize it all. That's weird. let's look at the service. The service is starting with the user MySQL, so we need to kdir MySQL, and then we're going to chown MySQL to MySQL. What? User group MySQL. What do you mean there's not a user? It's right there. Oh! Well, that'll cause it. So, it's actually funny. You can't make it. Well, you can, but it's not great. All right. Anyways, let's see. Let's do that real quick, and then let's start the service. Because the service is trying to start as a user that didn't exist. But now, let's see. Why is it now not starting? Yeah, see, so it doesn't know that. At least now we're to the variable problem. So now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to... Now we should be fine to drop it here. Huh. That's weird. We'll put it there. I swear they busted this in the new version of this. Yep. All right, well, let's take that off for now. Make sure we restart our database. All right, database will start. Database will not start. All right. So why won't that start if MySQL owns that? Oops, sock. Let's restart it. Why won't you start? Is there MySQL in here? Oh. There we go. Dum. Restart. It's gonna try to instantiate, like rebuild the database. Should be dead. Yep. Huh. That's such a weird error though, because it's clearly thinking it's starting. Anyway, so I'll get that all working, but yeah, the database does need to be initialized, but it's because I'm in this box that doesn't have So when it went to go install everything, this box doesn't actually control its own databases. Not database, but it doesn't control its own users because it's part of a cluster. So you get into a weird state when you add users on these. Shouldn't be run Maria. Shouldn't be anything there, I would think, but yeah, that's kind of weird. But that's not the point of this. The point of this was to say that you should be able to come in here and fix these components and then get them to work. I'll get the install of that cleaned up later, but and then make sure that you have like an audit log and all these other kind of things. That was the point of what we were talking about. So that'll be in the first week of that. And then the second week of that will be just securing network connections, how you look for open ports internally, how you look for open ports externally, and then probably some tools with firewalls, and then also Zeek. Then we're going to do some securing with system access. I did right as that call came in earlier. I was building this course out, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure there's going to be a break in there. So sometime on Saturday, Linux Security Engineering course. Yeah, we could start at 5. Yeah, all right. So I'll officially say that this is starting now for people that want to hang out and do that. That'll start on Saturday the 22nd too. So we're going to have 2 courses going. One will be the Linux sysadmin course, which I would highly advise if people have not been through that or not been a professional that they at least start there. That's 16-week course. And then this one's going to be a 10-week course. Let me edit this event. I'm going to say 10-week. Edit all events in the series. Next 10-week course. All right, there we go. Just so that it looks similar. All right, save event. Boom. All right. So the Linux security there is the beginner or advanced sysadmin course, the one where you learn how to be passive aggressive. The bot will teach you that if you talk to the bot in the server. If you ask the bot questions, it'll be mean to you. But yeah, there's that. So that's that, and then we're gonna do bastions. So I'm gonna show you guys how bastions work, and probably have us draw a little bit of that out for people who haven't done that before. See how bastion connections work. What do I have in Excalibur right now? Yeah. So this is our home lab, and we set up all the home lab stuff. Whoops. All the home lab stuff the other day, so that people would know what the lab kind of looks like for everybody. All right. So that's going. We plan systems engineering course in your mechanic books, YouTube for systems engineering. Yeah, Mr. TA, if I haven't talked about these before, there's a really good set of books on SRE Google Books. And even though this is site reliability engineering, I still think this is a really good set of like engineering for that space. So I think that these are really good books for people. The question was around like engineering books. I am going to do a straight, Mr. T, I will eventually one day do just like a kind of straight engineering course. That's not even directly related to networking or system stuff. But I just kind of feel like people mostly, I think, want to, or I think most people want to focus on the Linux side of the engineering, because I have a lot of stuff I want to do with networking as well. But then the more I get into it, I'm like, I don't know that everybody's going to want to go this deep into networking, you know. Johnny, what are your thoughts on Linux Plus Cert? I think. Here's my thoughts on certs in general, if anybody cares. I will show you guys. Here's my thoughts on certs. Let me see if I have... Here's my little short resume. It's my generic short resume, right? Get this thing out of the way. Boom. All right. You guys can see that. All right. So this is like my generic resume. It's other phone numbers and other emails and stuff like that. If you have nothing on your resume, I think anything that's a positive differentiator is good. So what I mean by that is if you've just been working, like let's say you're younger and you've just been working fast food, and maybe you moved over and you're like working as a car detailer. Okay. Somebody might care about that a little bit. For the most part though, those jobs probably go down near the bottom. the things that are going to float up are if you have like a Linux Plus, if you've done some college, if you've worked in a you've done some volunteer work in a computer shop, or like whatever it is that you've done that's a positive differentiator. I would put that higher up, if that kind of makes sense. So I think the Linux Plus is a fine cert. I think the RHCSA is a great cert. I think the RHCE is a good cert. I don't think you need any of those to get into the industry, though. I think having degrees are great, but I don't think you need a bunch of degrees to get into this space. In fact, most of the guys that I know that are really flourishing in like systems engineering and like data analytics engineering and those things, it's a mix for me. Some of my buddies have a lot of degrees and then they just kind of fell into the role, and other people I know worked their way up because they just kind of knew what was going on. And what I would tell you is just, you just got to get in there and start getting these skills wherever you can. Like if you had nothing on your resume and then you did our Linux systems admin course, that would at least look good, But is the Linux sysadmin course going to beat out maybe somebody that's like been contributing to an open source community for the last 4 years? Maybe not. Maybe not better to some companies than like an engineering degree. Do you need an engineering degree to get in at like Lockheed and Boeing and some of these other companies? Yeah, barring some like really high level, just jump in because you've been doing something crazy in the industry. But none of those people are going to be asking me questions, right? Like, so what I'm saying is anything that's a positive differentiator is good. That's the kind of way that I think of it. Can be. I made a Linux distribution. I should put that higher place in my CV. My CV is really bad. Yeah, can be. We have a spot on our Discord where guys and gals sometimes put in their resumes, and we take a look at them. So you can go in here and you can obviously most people will black out things that they don't want people to see, and then just drop it in as like a picture or something. That's what some people do. I don't think we've had one in a while in our jobs. Probably been a month or two, but. We a lot of people talking here. This was a job. Yeah, this was somebody's, and then they said, hey, this is something that I've done or I've changed, and then here's some stuff about them. And, we had whatever talk, whatever things that we mentioned about this down here, like each of our different thoughts on it or whatever. And this is one of those things I tell people all the time, take what's useful, throw out what's not, Some people will tell you to always do a SMART objective, and I like SMART objectives, but if it doesn't make sense with like what you're trying to explain, you don't have to use a SMART objective as a hard fast rule. Everybody know what SMART objectives are? What is it, like specific, measurable, action, something, time bound, right? Like for me, I like to always have an action verb. So this was when it was still active. I was still deployed. Now this is a job and a half ago. I would say deployed or developed. I always say things in the past tense. But I stripped a lot out of this because I don't have more than a page anymore. I just keep everything real small. Where's my that's actually funny. All right. Hold on, I gotta sneeze real quick. Oh man. All right. But yeah, I mean, getting certs, getting things that show. Here's the thing, and look, you're going to have people argue back and forth about this, and this is one of the things that I stay away from. People will be like, well, everybody I've ever met with a cert is an idiot, and everybody I've ever met with a cert was really good. And like, how do you balance that when you decide if you're going to take a cert, right? This is how I would tell you to deal with certifications. Is this? Let's go look at. Do I have? I don't think I have Sumatra. Here we go. Yeah. So this is. I switched this the other day to bright mode. Let me switch it back to dark mode. Hold on. I gotta go settings, advanced. Let me make this dark mode real quick. All right. Once you set that, it goes to dark mode. But what I might tell you guys is, if you look at these here, put it over on a half page. Let's say you were going to take the Security Plus. We'll just stay on the Linux one. Let's say you were going to do the Linux Plus, because that was actually a question earlier. This is the Linux Plus exam objectives that you can go download from CompTIA. And let's say you were going to study it, but you weren't going to take the cert. I'll pull this all the way over. And I said, okay, you studied for it, maybe you took the cert or whatever. I would not necessarily know whether you were that smart or if you were an idiot, as people like to argue. What I would know is that you have studied a body of knowledge, a BOK as we like to call them, and I know that you at least are familiar. If I told you, hey, go figure out what the sysctl settings are for IPv4, we got to report that up to the security team. Most of you that have been around Linux and around this would then be able to say, okay, sysctl -a grep-i for maybe IPv4, and okay, here's all the settings, and I can go feed that over to my security team, right? That's a lot of settings. Maybe, who knows why they want all that. But the point is, you could go find things out about the system that maybe somebody else might not know or might have to go read about. So when you invest, or when a company wants somebody that has a certain cert, what they're saying is I want you to have a general idea of these things. It doesn't necessarily mean you're an expert in any of them. You just understand them. Like, you understand how to add users and remove users and check users and that kind of stuff. A certificate doesn't show that you've been in the industry 10 years or less. All 10 years in the industry means you might still not know what's going on. You've just been doing it a little bit longer, right? So I don't know. I never try to crap on any certs that are out there, because I do think certs are valuable, and I think that they show people that you've spent some time to learn about a body of knowledge around something. All right. So anyways, that's that. Let's see if anything else is going on over here. On your resume, yeah. Crash, I met idiots with and without. Yeah. And I tend to be one of the most educated guys in the room, but it doesn't matter. Like, nobody, unless they've talked to me or interacted with me in some way, is ever going to be like, oh, that's the guy that has been teaching for 16 years or whatever. Like, that's not that big a deal. And I'm going to have my PhD done probably late next year. And I don't know, the stream might switch to Dr. Champagne, but I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But it doesn't really matter that much. Did you get your AWS Associates, Hayes? Nice. Let the guys know so that they can hit you with a bunch of jackets in the the AWS jackets. You might get 2 more. Yeah. They're. I think all the certs are good. Fisherman's a great guy to talk to about those, because he's been working on them. He's still working on. I think he's up to like 8 now or something. I stopped at 5. I haven't had time, and I've been working on all this other stuff. Man, I gotta find this thing real quick. Hold on. Oh no, I found it over there. Okay, good. So, really, for you guys, this is a big part of this. I think is, finding out if for some of you that aren't in the industry and you want to know what it's like to work in the industry, that's what the Linux sysadmin course might help you with. It'll tell you what the work, familiarize with the work, what it looks like, where your tasks are going to come from. How we kind of talk and look at things as administrators and then eventually engineers and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. Where are we at here then? All right. Make sure my boss hasn't messaged me. He was pinging me earlier. All right. He hasn't messaged me back, so that's good for now. All right, so what are we doing then? We're keeping an eye on Ranger. Ranger's down there napping. It's like 70 something. I think it's like 73 here in Phoenix, so it's not too hot, but it's not super cool either. And then I think the guys want me to put the course. So I've got this course, right? But then I think if I go, this is the original course, but I think I made another one of these. So let me go check real quick. If I just go into documents, Linux stuff, Linux group. We've got the Linux sysadmin course. And then I thought I made a security course. I don't see it. Just call it security? No. Something else. I could have sworn that I started. Apparently I did not. All right. Yeah. Apparently, I didn't start a new course because the syllabus. I would have made a new syllabus. All right. Well, anyways, I'll work on that later. But um, yeah, I think I've been working so much I can't even remember what I'm doing anymore. I keep having to context switch for different customers that I'm working with, and that's not it's not the best way for me to work. That's not the best way for me. What else? What else do we got? Servers look like they're doing good. Canby said, weird question. For example, I'm working towards certification in malware analysis. Would you value certification in malware analysis for a security role in administration of systems? Canby, it depends. I used to run, some of you guys know I used to run a red team. And really, the questions for our red team were basic security questions and then very heavily dealing with like pen testing in our environment. But yeah, I mean, I've never worked over anybody doing malware analysis. When I say worked over, like I've never been the tech lead over that. I'm never the manager. I stay away from management. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think a certification shows that you understand all the pieces, and I think that will probably, if somebody understands the pieces and the tools and the tasks that are coming, I think that's kind of what a company wants out of somebody with a cert. Not necessarily that you're going to know everything, because there's no way to know all this stuff. There's anything there's going to be something that comes up and messes up. In fact, me and the guys the last 3 days have been kind of beating our heads on this configuration error in one of our systems. 3 other systems that are built the exact same way don't have this error. But then in this one system, there's this one behavior with how Werewolf serves the configuration file for a node out only when it's using a virtual IP. So it's like this really weird, really, really specific scenario that we haven't seen before. And we've been down in on the networking. We've been looking at the VLANs. We've been TCP dumping the box to watch how the communication occurs. And we see the communication happen. And then we just see it not download. The nodes are not downloading from TFTP. So we've been, just digging into all this different stuff to try to figure out what's happening. And it's just not working right. So one of these things kind of going on. Johnny said, hey, Canby, what's the cert name for that malware cert, by the way, if you don't mind me saying? Because there was a question on the other side, what's the cert for that? And I've heard of one malware cert, but I don't remember it right off. I want to say that was one by... Who did the malware cert? It wasn't SANS.org. I think it was the McAfee Institute that did that one. But McAfee's real specialized. Like, people have to know who they are to care about their certs. But Johnny, if Canby says it over on the YouTube side, I'll let you know. All right, so let's go. Let's do a couple things. Let's check our. Let's go look at our environment, and let's see how all of our nodes are doing. Let's just check the uptime on all of our nodes. Make sure they're all doing good. And, it's called the Practical Malware Research Professional. Oh, it's by okay, yeah, these guys are serious. Yep, TCM. They're the ones that do the, here, I'll link this to you, Johnny. And I guess I'll link it on YouTube as well for you guys. But, yeah, that's the cert. Yeah, TCM does, what's the other one they do that's real big? Is it CEH? Oh, they do the pen test one, right? Yeah, they do the PJPT, yeah. PJN, yeah, and OSINT, okay. I think that's the one I've heard the most from people's PJPT, the Practical Junior Pen Testing. I've never seen a PWPA. But yeah, I like that they have training for people on that stuff too. So, all right, interesting enough. And they've probably got you. If I had to guess, Linux and Windows. If I had to guess, they're going to be having you do something like Kali might be part of it, but is it Bento? What's that other one that people use? The quieter you become, the more you can hear, or something like that. What's that other type of Linux? This one? I don't. Come on. Yeah, it's Sergi. That's what it's called. Yeah, right there. Yeah. You guys seen this one? I get that to go away. That's Bento Linux. So, yeah, the sharpest tool in your DFIR. So, this tends to be when you're looking at live forensics and incident responses. So, that's kind of stuff. They use Remnix. I don't think I've ever used Remnix. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't even know. There you go. More stuff. Oh, you can be in your own little Docker container. So if it can be its own container, you could run it in like KubeVirt as well, and then allow people to just connect. That's kind of cool. And then the other tool that I wanted to, so if I do the networking stuff, we'll be doing some GNS3 stuff, but that's only if people stay interested in the networking stuff. Like we're obviously a Linux group at heart, but we're engineers, you know, across the board. And I tell you guys all the time, if you're doing Linux, you're touching a network. I don't know a single Linux box out there that's not touching a network in some way. So, yeah, there we go. Johnny, you'd be interested in that stuff? Okay. Yeah. I'm mostly letting, like, if you are interested, make sure you just post in the Discord somewhere. I always let people know that the kind of the things that I find the most interest in are kind of where I go spend my time more, I think. But we're definitely doing the Linux sysadmin course, and we're definitely going to do the security version of that course coming up. So I think that people will find that that'll be kind of useful. Thanks for the follow. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. All right. Make sure all my nodes came back. They did. And it looks like we rebooted them all the other day too. We have not rebooted all the Rocky nodes though. So we might be doing all the Rocky servers here. So real quick, let's VI our Etsy Ansible hosts. And these are servers, but let's change this around a little bit, and let's say Rocky, and Rocky will be all of our Rocky 1, 2, 19. And then Hammer will be all of our Hammer 1, 2, 25. And then this can actually be, we can then say that servers will just inherit those. So when you want to go look those up, you go Ansible inventory, right? Go to the docs on the inventories. And you go, okay, I can build an inventory. I don't like YAML for inventories, but it's because I generate them. And I say, okay, I can do web servers and I can do specific ranges, but then also I can inherit, we can do variables, we can do inventory aliases, right? But I don't want to do that. I want to assign, down here a little further, all servers here are going to be, the children will be Rocky and Hammer. So right here we've got Rocky is going to be the Rocky nodes, Hammer is going to be the Hammer nodes, and then servers will be all nodes inherited from those groups. So let's go test that real quick. Let's say Ansible Rocky. Boom, it'll just hit our Rocky boxes. Should hit all 20 of them at once. Well, 19 of them. Right? Should be able to do hammer here. Hit all 25 of those. Oh, boss is calling me. I'll be right back, guys. Let me go to my co-working line here. Be right back. All right, I'm back, guys. Transition back over here. Yeah, sorry about that. I was talking to the boss again. Boss needed some help. He's working in a he's our high priority guy right now on our team because he's working directly in one of the systems, and this will be something you guys find out in project work. If you're doing any government stuff and somebody's actually on site, they've got to be your number one priority, right? Because like if his hands are in a skiff, like in a data center, and he's got to come in and out to kind of check things, I need to make sure that I can, or I need to make sure that he's kind of like a high priority, because you know, you don't want to leave the people that are like doing the work right away hanging. So let me pull you guys back up. Sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Marion G, how's it going? And we got a raid. How's it going? Hey, I just got off a work call. I was sitting here hanging out, and then I had to switch over. But we are working on a whole bunch of different things. I was building out my Ansible inventory that's kind of already been set up, but I was running it in my werewolf cluster. And then I was splitting it out so that I had these different children and different inventory host groups, as we call them, so that I could hit either, you know, the Hammer servers or the other servers or whatever. There we go. And then I could just hit all of my boxes, right? So anyways, yeah, 0 day. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you guys. Thanks for coming by. We're just not working too hard. This is my kind of end of the day. I got a college class in about 2 hours that I got to run, and then I've got more work because, you know, the life of an engineer never ends. And then we were just looking up different stuff that people were talking about in the different sides of things. So Canby said they use Remux. And you built Malbian. I like that. Is that Canby? Is that out there anywhere? Is that like out on GitHub anywhere? Oh, nice. Interesting. All right, you got Malbian, you got Discord server. Nice. If anybody wants to go join that project, it seems like Canby runs that. So if any of you guys want to go get in there and get involved, that's always fun. It's kind of a cool little project. You know, you want to get involved. And I wonder how has that been around for a while? Because SourceForge, man, that's the way we used to do all the open source stuff back in the day. A lot of people do most stuff on GitHub now, but SourceForge used to be a good open source way of doing a lot of things. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So there's a malware analysis and reverse engineering, which is slightly different than what they're doing over here in Tsurgi. This is more like live forensics and incident response. So some crossover, some differences, but again, Canby built this to get ready for this cert. So there you go. Yeah, Marion, I haven't downloaded anything off of SourceForge in probably, I mean, I don't know, 8 years or so, maybe 9, 10 now. It's been a while since I've done anything off SourceForge. Yeah, we used to all use it back in the day. That was kind of one of the jams, right? But yeah, I don't think I've used it professionally for a long time now. So, yeah, so we're just kind of hanging out, and yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it can be. That's cool. I think anytime people are building stuff and doing cool stuff, that's what we do around here, right? We work in the Linux world and that kind of stuff. Now, SourceForge. You guys want me to throw back to an old one? Some of you guys that have been around a long time remember linuxdistro.org. So I don't think it even exists anymore. I think it's just like a parked page that like somebody's probably trying to sell. But linuxdistro.org used to be where all the major Linux distros would be published. So you could go get all the new and older versions back. Yeah, it was linuxdistro.org. And I remember like Yellow Dog and all the different types of Linux that were up there back in the day. That was the original Knoppix and Canopix, as some people call it, or then what eventually became into Wapix. Wapix was on there originally, and then Wapix became Backtrack, became Kali, became, all these kind of things. Remember Millworm before CVE were a thing? Yeah. Oh, what's the wife doing? Oh, the wife's texting me. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to say, what do I want? All right. Oh, risotto. Yeah, risotto's good. We're actually, speaking of not risotto, but next month, let's look at this real quick, by the way. Oh, and then it's actually funny. So let me show you guys this, because it's been a little while, so now we're a little later on. There's all kinds of events in our Discord, and the events are always free, so I'm always telling you guys about them. There's Writer's Room on Saturday, and that is around building that book out. That's the book that's right here. This book is free. Where is that? Where's that book at? Book is free for anybody that wants it, but it's our Linux Systems Administration course. And the guys and different people that are working on that are putting together our 16-week course in there. And then for people that weren't here, when you go to like the worksheets, it has embedded in it the Unit 1 recording. So all the stuff I talked about in Unit 1 are in here, and all the things that we worked on, and then the different discussions. And does this actually take you into the discussion post yet? No, not yet. It's not there yet, but they'll get those links up eventually. And then definitions and things that you want to kind of study. These are kind of like keywords that you need to know or go read about if you haven't gotten familiar with them before. And then, we just keep going through. There's a lab. Lab is all the things that you need to go do. And look, they turned it into a real nice little... yeah, I like this. This is just stuff about systems. And then I think look at all this stuff. I think they even added stuff. Oh, wow. They added a whole bunch of stuff. I don't remember doing all this, but maybe they did it for fun. And then permissions challenge. So they have you go and look at a bunch of stuff. Man, they added a whole bunch of stuff. Cold days, warm food. Hey, how cold is it there? Because for me, it's 74 outside. So, like, I think 74 is on the warm side. I mean, I'm from Phoenix, but 74 is not super warm for us, but it gets worse. All right. Oh, and then they have all the bonus stuff. I like that. So, man, yeah, you guys, the guys have been adding so much more to this to make it more robust around our original, like, framework. And the framework is, really just to get you guys familiar with kind of what this looks like, right? So what are we dealing with? What are we learning? All of these things, right? Unit 2, you get in here, SE Linux, and we wanted to get into SE Linux and access control lists early, and then operational methodologies for incident triage, which is huge. You're going to deal with so much incident triage. I'm dealing with incident triage as I've been talking to you guys right now. When I've been dropping to those calls, I've been going in, and it's actually not an incident. We're setting up a build, but we're having a problem with getting these VLANs on a gateway switch to be able to connect in and go do these other things. But then I just showed the guys how to connect, so they can, when they're in the data center, they can connect. It's a skiff, so when you're in the skiff, you can't talk out, right? You have to. It's almost like you have to come up out of your little pressurized bubble. You guys ever seen those little subs that go down and work on the side, and then they got to depressurize before they come back up? It's the same kind of concept, right? Like, these guys are stuck in a skiff out of communication until they back out of the system and then come and talk to us again. So, oh, nice. Someplace dropped before. Yeah. In fact, I think some of the guys on my team are from back east, and they're getting some cold weather. So yeah, it's always interesting. Like, because I'm in the framework of, like, it doesn't snow out here, right? Like, it doesn't snow in Phoenix ever. If it does, it doesn't stay on the ground. It's only snowed maybe like 3 times in my life out here, and it does not stay on the ground typically, not for more than a few minutes, if even. And that's like, it's a real weird thing when people are like, oh yeah, I'm digging out of snow. Although I will tell you something funny. I was out in Dayton, Ohio right at the beginning of this year for a project. And, man, I was in the middle of, I flew in on a blizzard. There was a blizzard all over. 29 tonight? Yeah, 29 sounds nice. Wouldn't have to have my damn air conditioner on anymore. All right, so anyway, so the writer's room is coming up. And then we're going to start on Saturdays. We normally have a meeting at 3, which will keep going right up until our Linux sysadmin course. But then I got to tell you that with the meeting that's coming up, I'm going to start having us kind of run it like an operational day in the life meeting, so you guys can see what operations teams kind of deal with. People that have never worked in an operations team, people that have never worked in tech might want to come see what that's like. So we're going to keep doing that. The Linux sysadmin course is going to start on the 22nd. We were just talking about that. Now, I do have to mention that the first week of this is going to start, and then the second week I'm going to be out of town. On March 29th, I'm actually going to be out in California, so I'm going to be busy, and actually that'll affect the second week of this course as well. So I'll make sure people that come to the first, Dayton, Ohio, trust me, I did not mean to be there. I did not ever mean to or intend to go to Ohio in my life, and almost died in a blizzard the first day I was there. That was crazy. But anyways, Linux Security Engineering course is going to start. We'll take a break for those 2 days and then continue on. The Linux sysadmin course, if I get somebody that wants to run it, that's been through it before, we got a few people that have been through it. If they want to run it on that day, I'll make sure that there's somebody here to run it. Otherwise, we'll just call that day a break day, and then we'll keep going, right? So, all right. So anyways, that's our Discord. Let me link that to people that need it over on the Twitch side. I'll just redo it. Hold on. Yeah, I'm lucky to have escaped with my life. Yeah, let me link that on the YouTube side too. So, yeah. Can be, if you're ever down in our Discord and you want to link that, I mean, I would be surprised if there weren't people that wanted to help you with that. Like, I don't know if you're open to people working on a project with you, but I'd be willing to bet there's people that want to get involved with a Linux distro. So you're definitely welcome to put that, just find a channel that it sounds good in, security, or I don't know, whatever. We don't have an OS channel directly, but you're always welcome to hang out. Yeah. Hayes, I'll tell you what, Dayton was interesting. There was one really good thing that came out of Dayton, Ohio. You guys want me to tell you what it was? I'll tell you guys, there was one really good thing that came out of there. One of the guys took me over to this place, Marion's Pizza, right? And, man, that pizza, I'll be honest, guys, this pizza was really, will they deliver it down to Phoenix? Let's see. No, they're not going to deliver it to me. But anyways, man, I like their pizza. So this is going to sound weird, but if you guys know what like Totino's party pizzas are, you guys probably remember those from when you were a kid. You just throw them in the oven, they just bake up and like be toasty on the bottom. That's what that pizza was like. However, in all other ways, it wasn't just a cheap little frozen pizza. It was like a fresh pizza, but it had that crust on the bottom, and it was really good. I was surprised with how well they did. Let's see what's going on over at Marion's. I might have to go out there again to do some training, to give training, right? No, don't need my. Let's see. Look what their pizzas look like. Oh yeah, look at that. I guess those look pretty good. Anyways, really good pizza. Hayes said Dayton is one of my favorite, home of one of your favorite bands, Guided by Voices. I was out in what's called Beaver Creek. I don't know if you know it, or if you know where Beaver Creek is down there, but just outside of it's just southeast of kind of where I was working with out there. So ask locals about Guided Voices next time. Okay, all right. I also went to Skyline Chili. Everybody kept telling me about this place, Skyline Chili, so I tried that. That place wasn't bad. Pretty good. All right, the wife got done early, so I might have to get off of here in a few. But just suffice it to say, we've got a Linux group. You guys are welcome to go hang out in there. Hang out, talk shop with the other engineers. Talk about different things that are interesting to you guys, right? Like, the point of this group is to get people that aren't professionals into being professionals, and there's all kinds of different routes that you can get there. Some of you guys might just, I don't know, so like one of our guys the other day, I'm not going to out him or nothing, but one of our guys the other day just got a job as a data center engineer, right? And data center starts off kind of just probably moving around cables, probably making sure all the lights are green on the front of an array, probably changing out disks. There's a lot of stuff that's like, when you first start in data center, kind of like gopher work. Go for this, go for that, right? Looks like the word gopher, but yeah. But then there's, you get in and you work for a bit, and then now all of a sudden you're maybe running the cable, and you're doing, like, there's all these things that you can go and build your career off of from there. And again, maybe once he's in that company for a while, he can bounce over to one of these other places. So there's all these things that are kind of available. So hey, thanks for the Prime sub, Insanity later. We also suffer from insanity now around here, so that's good. Hopefully you enjoy your ad-free a month. I appreciate that. Where else was? Oh, so wait, let's go check. We were checking a few other things on our nodes out. What were we checking? A couple things. We need to check the health of this box because his root directory is slowly filling up. And now we've got 25 more nodes that are going to be using that space. So we really need to start thinking about this node, this head node here of Werewolf, in a context of he's kind of running this whole 44 node cluster now. So he needs to get upped on his space a little bit. So let's go over here and let's see what kind of space we can give him. This is my home lab. And then here's my Werewolf server. And here's his storage. There's those two 50 gig disks that you see right here, XVDA and XVDB, right? There's those two disks. But we're going to see what kind of storage does the hypervisor that he exists on, right? He's sitting on a type 1 hypervisor. What kind of storage does he have left? He's got a virtual allocation size 71% used of the lab SSD. So we've got 642 gigs of that use. I think we can safely on this node give him a little more space. So we're going to go down to our Werewolf and we're going to go ahead and say storage. We're going to add a disk from that high speed. This is the SSD storage. It's kind of high speed storage. And we're going to give him 100 more gigs. And we'll call this Werewolf storage. That's fine, right? 100 gigs. We'll add it. It's going to almost immediately show up over here. It actually comes up almost in real time. Watch this. So WW storage. He will be XVDC. He should be the C disk. And he's already there, right there. Boom. So now we just go through this process that we normally do. PVS, VGS, LVS. You'll notice that the physical volumes of logical volume management do not automatically get that disk. That disk has been applied to the system, but the logical volume management, LVM, that's running here controlling things, doesn't have access to it yet. So we create a disk, and basically it's almost like we just give it permission. So PV create dev xvdc. Whoops. And when we do that, then we say PVS, and we see that disk now, right? Yeah, Hayes, I still work in a data center. I've told you guys before, I'm working back with NOAA, National Oceanographic Atmospheric Agency, and I will be going into National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Agency, so NOAA. I work with them, and their data center's maybe almost 4 miles from my house. And I helped set it up back in 2020 to 2021 when COVID was kind of in earnest. I was on the project, but now I'm back on the project and going to be kind of working on there. AV corporate events, yeah. Hey, pulling cable, I mean, it's honorable work. It's good work, right? Like, you gotta keep your cables safe. You gotta run them correctly. All right, so now we're gonna say VG extend because we already have a volume group. It says volume group right here. It's the only volume group that shows up. But we're gonna say is that RL or R1? I can't tell. I think it's RL over dev xvdc. So we're actually taking our volume group that's over 2 disks, and it's almost like we're pulling it over the top of this third disk now, right? And now when we say VGS, we're going to see that the volume group that was previously completely used, there was nothing free, now has 100 gigs free because now it's got that in there. You want cables? Try Socapex. Yeah, I don't even... Hayes, I'll tell you, I think you hang out down there, but you definitely get along well with Sid Heresy because he's definitely all about that stuff. I think you've even been over there, and you're working on a new job. Hayes, you're in tech now, right? I think you got over in tech. It's awesome. We're going to LV extend. Yeah. I think he's on a job right now, too. I think he went somewhere. Or he was doing something. So now we're going to do an LV extend command. But this command kind of gets... I'm not going to say wonky, but there's some things you've got to know about the system. We've got the logical volumes, right? The logical volumes that have been carved from the existing thing. And the one is root. Now, if we didn't know where a root was mapped to, there's a few ways that we could find it in the system. We could say df-h and say, okay, dev mapper rl root is to the root of the home directory, or the root of all the, not even the home directory, just the root of the whole system. That's one way we would find it. Another way is we can do like an lsblk and see that, okay, dev xvda, and then carved off of here with logical volume management is the rl-root. So, okay, so lv extend, and we're going to extend, and we do want to resize the file system as we do this. Oh, by the way, if I didn't know the file system, I could do block ID against that, but I could just do block ID against all of them. And my RL root right here is type XFS. XFS and ext4, great for expanding. In general, you never want to shrink a file system. It's very, very damaging. It's unpredictable to shrink a file system. If you ever needed to do something with that and you said, hey, we need to make this smaller for some very viable reason, I would instead build a new partition next to it, make it the size I wanted, and then move the other stuff down into it and delete the old one. That is a much safer thing for your data and for your inodes and for all the different things that can break in this world. Hayes, you've been switched to IT. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's even before I was starting high school in, 95, I guess. But, all right, so let's go LV extend, -R because we want to resize the file system in real time, and then -L, and I'm going to say plus 100% free. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but that one should be the one that'll work for us here. And then let's just say that we want to do, we should just be able to give the name rl-root right here, I think. Let's see if that works. Oh, well, we can give the full name. Dev mapper rl root. We can just give the whole thing. And then now, if all that's worked, and we do a df-h again, now we should see that we've got 141 gigs available, whereas earlier we only had, where is it at? I know we had it somewhere in here. We had 41 gigs available, so we've added 100 gigs to that file system. We've resized it. Now we've got all this extra space for activities. Because if we do a show mount -E, this box is sharing out all of these directories that all come off of that /root to all 44 of the nodes that exist. Yeah, we have 44 nodes. 19 of the hammer and 25 of the 19 of the Rocky boxes and 25 of the hammer boxes, right? So we've got all that. Chris, they got funding for a new machine lately, I think, at NOAA. So the project I'm on actually deployed the older system back in 2020, 2021 timeframe. And that was a couple of supercomputers out here in Phoenix and in Manassas, West Virginia. I can say that because that's all been published. And then they were called the Cactus and Dogwood. You can figure out which one's where. Right? Phoenix, Arizona is one, and Manassas, Virginia is the other. Cactus and Dogwood, right? And they have 2,600 nodes each. They're the ones that run all of the NCEP, which is the prediction models for all of, everybody on planet Earth basically gets fed from NOAA as far as the what they call the prediction models, right? Of every 6 hours, where's the weather going to be? Where's the cold front? The cold front's pushing up through. Anybody here ever seen the movie Groundhog Day? He's like, we can't be in a blizzard. The cold front's gonna. Actually, I think only warm fronts push, but whatever. It's if you guys have never seen that movie, me and the wife watch it right around this time every year because it's just such a funny movie for what happens to him on Groundhog Day. In fact, in the movie, they actually kind of lose the thread. You don't know how long he's been doing it, so it's a great thing. Oh, the wife's here. I hear the wife, guys. I got to drop off here. We got to go find somebody to raid. I'm going to my little end stream thing. I will be back around, probably not tonight because I'm going to be working on some stuff. But I will be back on tomorrow, maybe even do like a day stream, and we'll just kind of hang out and stuff. But you guys are welcome to hang out. You guys are welcome to kick it down the Discord and just do all that fun stuff down there. And I will see most of you later. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid real quick. Hold on the Twitch side. On the YouTube side, unfortunately, I got nothing for us. Because I can't raid people on YouTube. Plus, I wouldn't even know who to raid. But let's go raid over to... we'll go raid over to the subathon over on Running Man. I've been hanging out in Running Man's stream all day anyways, so I'll go raid over there and then run, and I will see some of you guys probably tomorrow or down in the Discord. All right, take care, everybody.